I've talked quite a bit about the importance of better funding models in the FOSS world, whether it's putting your donation box literally in front of the user's face, like in the case of Thunderbird, whether it's prompting the user to donate before they start the download process, like with Elementary OS. I know that some countries are weird about the term donation and treat that as a special thing. You can't accept it unless you're actually operating a charity. Instead, if you want to accept donations or accept donations, you need to be offering some sort of direct service. Then there's the whole matter of low-level libraries that are incredibly important and everybody relies on them, but it's made by one dude and nobody knows it exists. So I think it's worth experimenting with different approaches and seeing what the response is and seeing how much money is brought in and whether it actually makes sense to go down that route. And Purism is trying out something that a lot of people may have an instant negative reaction to. Purism is adding optional subscription fees to advanced development. I cannot stress enough that these are optional. You do not have to pay for them. In fact, they are the most optional thing ever created because they don't actually give you anything of value. More on that in a moment. The three pricing tiers are PureOS Subscription Standard, $5.99 per month, PureOS Subscription Premium, $9.99 per month, and PureOS Subscription Expert, $19.99 per month. And this money is going to go into developing PureOS, the distro provided by Purism. Now, this is not the first interesting idea that Purism has had. Another thing they have is Fund Your App. So if you purchase a Librem 5, you have the option to add a bit on top of that purchase to then donate directly to a project that you're interested in supporting. This, I think, is a really sensible way to do it because you're already spending a couple $100, so it's pretty easy to convince you, okay, well, spend an extra $10, $15, $20 and donate to a project right now. And I'm not entirely sure why you would want to do this part, but you also have the option to purchase a Librem 5 along with your app donation if you wish, and we can hold back your order until your selected apps or features are ready. So if your feature never gets completed, the device doesn't get sent. Like, I don't get why you would choose to do that, but if for some reason you want to do so, the option is there, and I guess options are good for some people. It's kind of like buying a Big Mac and then rounding up your order price to just donate a bit of money to the Ronald McDonald Foundation. I don't have an issue with it. If it's optional, that's fine. It's nice to have it there, and I'm sure some people go and use this. But going back to the subscriptions, PureOS has been funded to date by crowdfunding, hardware sales, investment, and will continue to be subsidized by these core Purism business divisions. However, we desire to do more, and that is the reason we are adding an optional subscription to keep funding PureOS advancements and innovations. PureOS will continue to be freely available for all, and there is no product difference for subscribers or non-subscribers. And they take this very, very literally. Let's have a look at what each tier actually provides, and you'll be very surprised by the difference. In the standard tier you get standard subscription for PureOS, helping maintain releases and bug fixes, helping push code to other projects. Okay, let's go to the premium tier. Premium subscription for PureOS, helping maintain releases and bug fixes, helping push code to other projects, helping new developments of existing applications, and helping advance commonly requested features. Okay, let's go to the expert tier. Expert subscription for PureOS, helping maintain releases and bug fixes, helping push code to other projects, helping new developments of existing applications, helping advance commonly requested features, helping innovations and new development, helping with growth, and helping enumerate features to get added to PureOS. Now, if you're paying attention, you might notice a bit of an issue with some of these features included with the subscription. If you see it in a table, maybe it's a bit easier to tell. this to here is the exact same thing. Let's just take it literally at face value. So if you're in the standard tier, your money isn't going to things like helping new development of existing applications or helping enumerate features get added to PureOS. Obviously, that is nonsense because helping maintain releases and bug fixes and helping push code to other projects is also all of these other things as well. It's just listing additional things to make it sound like there are different things in each subscription when what you are getting is nothing. What you are getting is money is leaving your account and money is entering the Purism account. That's the transaction. None of this other stuff is actually relevant. Now, I don't have an issue with having the different tiers. The different tiers are fine. Maybe someone wants to give $5.99 a month. Maybe someone wants to give $20 a month. Honestly, I don't think it should be a set amount. They should just have the ability to have recurring donations because you're not getting anything from the donation anyway, so why does there need to be these set different tiers? And I guess having this list of features here, like, pads out the selling page, but I don't know, it just feels weird and feels awkward when you think about it for more than 1 second. Now, again, to be clear, it's not really a subscription in the typically thought of sense, at least in its current state. It's basically a monthly recurring donation, and I feel like the reason why they're calling it a subscription instead is just for tax reasons. In other words, you're basically joining the Purism Patreon, but unlike my Patreon, you know, where these guys over here are, you don't get a fancy colored name in my outro or a fancy colored name in my Discord. Yes, this is a thinly veiled ad. Now, when this was announced, there was a post about it in the Purism forums, and most people here are generally supportive of it. Some are like, okay, but why do you get absolutely nothing from it? One of the examples here is after you've been a member for a certain amount of time. In this person's case, they say 24 months. I would say more like 6 months is probably fine. Then you'll be given a coupon for the Purism store. It doesn't even have to be a big coupon. It could be something like a 5%, or maybe it's like a progressive coupon where the longer you stay subscribed, the bigger the coupon gets. I think that would be really cool. And the idea of having a coupon isn't something entirely new, and isn't something entirely new in the FOSS world either. The FSF does the exact same thing on both FSF merchandise and also with Think Penguin. I completely understand that in many cases doing actual physical rewards or even many digital rewards can just be really expensive and completely defeat the purpose of even having the subscription to generate money for your product. But I think at an absolute bare minimum, nothing else, if this is all you do, I think would be better. Having some sort of like special badge or special name in at least the forum and the Matrix channel and things like that. You know, general things you'll see on a YouTuber's Patreon page. Someone else in here suggested that if you have a subscription and you're in the support queue, you just get bumped up to the front of the support queue. And I think that's a good idea as well. The issue is the implementation of this, because this does require having a system that actually facilitates this. Otherwise, you have to manually go and check the names, and in many cases, that is just going to be slower than going through the queue normally. If you have a system that automatically moves people around a support queue, that'll work great, but otherwise, yeah, and doing so can be a bit of an expense. Now, I know some people see the term subscription and instantly freak out, and I understand why, right? Like, if you look at how companies like Adobe do things, where you have a monthly subscription, but they do it in this really scummy way where you're minimally required to pay for a year. Otherwise, when you unsubscribe, you have to pay out the end of your contract. Nobody likes that. It looks scummy and makes the idea of subscriptions just look even worse. And I get that a lot of people are fatigued with subscriptions as well, because every service out there has a subscription. But I'm not opposed to the model when it's just a matter of supporting a project. Or if you get dumb little things that just don't realistically have any value. I don't know long run how this model is going to go for them. They're just trying it out as of a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's at least worth exploring to see whether or not people like it. But what do you think? Are you opposed to any sort of subscription model? Do you like the idea of an optional way of doing monthly recurring donations, or would you prefer just to do one-offs here and there? I would love to know. So if you liked the video, go like the video. And if you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, Scribe, Pay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and do it. You know you want to.
Something like this.